control their own destiny, it's not happening.
This is very interesting. This is a question that really tricked me, stumped me. You can go a lot of different ways here. You know, Colorado, Dion, those guys are always in the mix somehow. LSU's had a really interesting season. Their loss to SC kind of makes no sense.
Right.
They got lucky against Ole Miss, but playing Bama, that's like Bama's not the Bama they used to be.
Sneaky.
Florida is better recently, but they aren't
Colorado
good.
could win out and not make it.
I'm aware, and this is why the winner of this question is Jordan Leonard. Colorado definitely has a harder path to make the playoff. Cancer, it sucks. John Green taught us that it is one of the faults in our stars. On Valentine's Day morning, Stacy Ballou passed away from cancer. Her son Cade is an outfielder at Auburn. Local kid, went to high school 5 minutes from campus. On Friday, Cade and his dad Roger both told Auburn head coach Butch Thompson that Stacy would want Cade to play in the game that night. When Cade stepped up for his first at-bat, the record-breaking crowd at Plainsman Park had a moment of silence. A few innings later, Cade homered. Thompson said, quote, "I think it was the most inspiring thing we've ever seen." Cade's teammate, Eric Snow, said, quote, "That was literally the best thing I've ever seen in baseball." The color commentator on the home run said, quote, "Some things transcend the human experience and how sports can bring everyone together." Stacy and Roger Ballou were going to celebrate their 30th anniversary this August. Sometimes our fate is actually beyond our control. But on Friday night in Auburn, Alabama, Cade Ballou launching a home run was totally meant to happen. For whatever reason, when the sun goes down in Utah, weird stuff happens. Just ask Caleb Williams why he couldn't win at Utah when he was at SC. On Saturday, unfortunately, get this, the sun sets in Provo, Utah at 6:50 p.m. Mountain Time. I looked this up. The game starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Time or 2 p.m. Mountain Time. Not ideal for my vision here. Very sad. But it should get darker at some point during the fourth quarter. So the play here is BYU minus 1.5 in the fourth quarter specifically. We'll throw just $5 on that specific thing to happen. Last week at the George Bush Library in College Station, I read the following quote. "Sometimes how we react to a problem or a defeat is as important as the defeat itself." That's where Ryan Day and the Buckeyes are at right now. How do they react to such a humiliating defeat? So with all this uncertainty, all these questions, all the fault of things that I know that an Oregon versus Ohio State Rose Bowl would feed families. That matchup in Pasadena on New Year's Day makes all the sense in the world. I know that a freshman quarterback playing in Columbus could easily struggle, especially against a very good Ohio State defense. And I know that both of Tennessee's losses this year were on the road. So even though I don't love doing this, the Buckeyes covering the 7.5 is the pick. Let's toss $10 on that. Hello, welcome to the Citrus TV studios for what should be a doozy orange press pass. Austin Barrick here, Kieran Costa, Josh Richardson. Fellas, at home if you're watching, Josh is supposed to make 5 How I Met Your Mother references during the course of the show. Count at home if you will. I'll be trying to count out as well. Kieran's hanging out as well. Folks, we got a really interesting game. Syracuse, in the midst of a treacherous season, loses to a 1-11 Miami team in conference. Kieran, your first thoughts?
Well, Austin, my first thought, you summed it up pretty. This isn't good this year.
The writing was on the wall from early November. It's played out through the course of the season. Now let's take an even bigger picture scope here, guys. I mentioned in the open, on pace to be the worst record season since 1969. Shout out that song, Summer of 69.
Bryan Adams.
Exactly.
He's from Canada.
Is this rock bottom here, all right? Because last season was pretty good. Some bad losses, 36-point loss at Carolina, 29-point loss at Wake last year. But you take a look at this tweet from Ashley Winskowski. This is pretty telling stuff, guys. Josh?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard.